See them. My name's Brian.
Can you guys see me?
I've been looking forward to this for a while. Simon's great at first liners. Comebacks, he's really good. Your name is not East Tennessean.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I am from Germany.
Yeah, so tell us how's the journey? How did you get here to Tusculum?
Yeah, by bike.
Yeah.
Deborah will tell you.
I mean, you had to. I mean, that's
which is contradictory since I'm a runner,
exactly.
Supposedly. Yeah, similar to Brandon, Tusculum College back then was the only institution I really looked at. And it's very fortunate. Coming here has really shaped the rest of my life. And you know, I owe it to the cross-country scholarship that I received, and Frankie DeBusk was the athletic director back then. And I met my wife here, and so many memories. So, yeah, I'm honored to be a part of the family.
You know, Frankie, you never pronounced your last name. He just called you Simon.
Yeah.
No, maybe,
I guess.
Maybe he didn't call you even that. I'm not sure if that's even what he called you. Regardless.
The short runner guy?
Yeah, the short runner. You come here to this school to set, you know, and have one thing in mind, get an education. Who impacted you the most? Who helped you the most get to where you are today? What teacher that you remember comes into mind? So you know what, that person put me on that path. That person put me in a direction that I needed to go and be like. Was there a mentor here that you had at Tusculum?
Oh, many, I think. First there was Coach Roberts, the cross-country coach my freshman year, who picked me up from the airport. And I had two cases. One was a suitcase, the other one was my bike case. Came here, assembled my bike, and rode it to Walmart to get bed sheets and a blanket. Sorry, I had to tell that story, right? So Coach Roberts was a huge influence early on, and Dr. David Bowe. Exercise physiology was my favorite course, but I didn't get to take it with you, unfortunately, but had other classes with Dr. Bowe, and kind of cemented my real passion for exercise science. And I came here because you guys had a sports science major, and other universities or colleges where I got offers did not. I was about to go to Mercer for physics, Mercer University, but it sounded a bit too boring, so I wanted to study sports science. Then obviously Coach Bird, who, you know, in the classroom and on the field, the cross-country field, the grass, was a huge influence. And I don't think I was ever late to class.
Probably.
I even went to class, I shouldn't say this now, when I had the flu, which now, post-COVID, you don't do that anymore. But I was late to practice one time by like 3 minutes, right? And she made me run extra 400s. And so I kept running 400s after everybody was done. Then after like a couple extra repeats, she felt sorry for me. And Dr. Mahal, who was here, faculty, you know, took me to the National AFERT Conference in San Diego, and all of these people were instrumental in me getting a graduate assistantship to be able to afford graduate school at Eastern Kentucky University, and from there on to Arizona State University in the same field, and I teach in the field to this day.
You know, there's a lot of people that don't understand why cross-country is a sport. Me, I don't understand. But my sister did it.
It's everybody else's sports punishment.
That's exactly right. That's what I always remember. I always remember I did something wrong on a field.
You really have to embrace pain.
Yeah, go run. I don't want to run. I don't want to do, so I admire you. So that's my point. My point is somebody that would just endure absolute pure pain for 25 minutes and 4 seconds, you know, whatever it may be. But, you know, being in light of that, my sisters, they did that. My sister did earn, you know, a scholarship to be able to run as well. It's not easy, and I can sit here and ask Brandon. I'm going to ask Caitlin the same thing. You know, what were some moments that were special as a runner? Every moment should be special, right? I mean, right? how do you remember meets and races? Was there an impact meet for you that when you go in a certain mindset that I'm gonna set this course on fire? These Mars Hill people don't have a chance. What is there?
That was the trigger word, Mars Hill.
That's what I thought.
Those are big rivals.
It's a big rivalry. I understand sports.
Yeah, in cross country they were usually the regional champions at the time, I think. And I think the conference meet last year, the only goal was to beat all of Mars Hill. And so I went out with them, front pack, and you know, after about 3 minutes, I see what I could do, picked up the pace, and nobody followed. Greatest feeling in the world. So while it's painful, you know, it's exhilarating.
Yeah.
And so you're not a runner, as you've confessed.
Yes.
You get in a state of flow. You're just in the zone. Obviously, it gets really painful towards the end.
Oh, yeah. I don't know that.
But yeah, and then I wanted to punish myself some more after I left here and started doing Ironmans in Arizona. But since having kids, I came to senses. I'm not running anymore. Now I'm cycling, which is a little bit easier on the body.
You hear Harry say that he came to his senses. You feel every sensory aspect of your body when you're running, though. I'm convinced on that. But you know, you talk about the winning and being a part of that and the success. You look back at it now. I read these numbers, and you remember it. It's impactful. It's lasting. How has it shaped you? How has just running shaped your life?
Oh, it's so many. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for running. I got a cross-country scholarship. I mean, I owe my life as it is to the sport and to Tusculum University, you know, my education here. And from a personal standpoint, I mean, teaches you, you know, all kinds of things. Obviously, perseverance and, you know, keep the finish line in mind. You don't win the race usually the first mile. You just got to keep going. Wear the competition down. Be ruthless. No, I don't go through life like that.
You don't. You know, it's kind of, he's talking about it's game 5, and you come in the 7th inning, you need to hold, and you strike out the side. I mean, you know, everybody has their different moments,
I'm from
right?
Arizona, Diamondbacks, the loss, it's still painful. That's good.
You don't care that I call them the D-bags, because that's what they are.
No, sorry, Brandon, I don't really follow baseball, so it's all good.
Well, let me just tell you, the last team into the playoffs got into the World Series. Barely.
Yeah.
And they're in the World Series.
So I've heard.
So yeah, maybe they should have been there. I don't care. Either way, you're in Arizona. You're in the desert. How is that? It's obviously different. You go from the mountains here in East Tennessee to the mountains of the desert, because there are mountains out there, but a different atmosphere, a different beast. And being at Arizona State, how are you impacting lives right now? Do you use a lot of what you did here at Tusculum and to mentor some of the people that you're mentoring now?
Yeah, I mean, I try to mentor the way I was mentored, which is so hard to do. It's such a time commitment, you know, that you guys put into students to mentor students, and I realize that what you guys have done for me, right, and that there's no way to pay it back, so I try to pay it forward. And that's what it's about in education. And I run an adaptive exercise program on campus to help students gain practical experience and to help community members be more physically active. Yeah.
My wife has got me starting to walk now. So I do walk. Is that okay?
It's one foot in front of the other.
Right, that's my point. She walks fast too. It frustrates me.
I hate walking. Isn't it ironic? Walking is more painful than running to me.
So you still have that bike, or you got a new bike yet?
So that bike I brought here to Tusculum was stolen the first year we were in Arizona. Because I only had a chain lock, and in downtown Phoenix, you know, that's like virtually not locking it up. So after that I got a U-lock and a cheaper bike. Still have that one, yeah. But I have like 5 bikes now, so.
That's good, yeah. So you got memories.
So I still, you know, go around by bike. You never change, really.
Not going to change. Well, I'm excited to be walking, so I feel that I'm closer to you now.
I feel you.
Yeah.
That's my hard work.
I tell you, you're always going to be my favorite Hall of Famer. I showed up here in 2010, so yeah. One of my very favorite. Here it is. You come to the States from Germany. Well, tell me about that. You know, you obviously are branching out, doing new things all the time. Here you are in the desert, you know, now. But what is it coming over here to a different country? You know, how different was that for you?
Well, I mean, you have a culture shock. I'm sure going to Japan, you had a bit of a culture shock, and it makes you so adaptable and appreciative of different cultures and appreciative of people who help you, because initially you're kind of helpless and you just need people to help you because you don't know what the heck you're doing, where you're supposed to go. And the people here at Tusculum and admissions and advising, especially, you know, Jill, the academic advisor at the time, I don't know if she's still here. I kind of owe my academic career to her as well. Yeah, and in Arizona, it's same story. There's students, you know, who need your help, you need your mentoring, your guidance throughout the first year especially. And I always relate to the international students and what the experience is like. So, yeah, to paying it forward as much as I can.
Full circle, here you are in this moment, you're back in this moment. I've asked the others, what does this mean? What does entering this special realm here at Tusculum mean to you?
Well, I definitely have imposter syndrome. I mean, these three really are much more accomplished than I am, so I was, yeah, very surprised when I got Dom's message to be invited here to be inducted, and it's a huge honor, and I'm so, like I said, to be part of this family, having come here, it shaped the rest of my life, my future. I owe it to the people here, and yeah, I'm really glad that I could be back here 10 years later, roughly. Met my wife here, so feels like family, feels like home.
Ladies and gentlemen, the newest member of the Tusculum University Sports Hall of Fame, Dr. Simon Holzapfel.